Alright, welcome to the new slides about the topic of my presentation of research methodology. Now, let's try to understand what are the types of the research. I presented here with a flow chart depicting the types of research from three different perspectives. So the types of research can be looked at from three different perspectives. First, we have applications of the findings of the research study. The second, the objective of the study. And the third, the mode of inquiry used in conducting the study. The classification of the type of a study on the basis of these perspectives is not mutually exclusive. That is, a research study classified from the viewpoint of application can also be classified from the perspective of objectives and inquiry mode employed. For example, a research project may be classified as pure or applied research from the perspective of applications, as descriptive, correlational, explanatory, or exploratory, and as a qualitative or quantitative, the perspective of the inquiry mode employed. I mean to say that is from the perspective of the inquiry mode employed. So let's try to first of all understand what is the applications perspective. If you examine a research endeavor from the perspective of its application, there are two broad categories. One is which we have a pure research and an applied research. So what is a pure research? A pure research involves developing and testing theories and hypotheses that are intellectually challenging to the researcher but may or may not have practical applications at the present time or in the future. Thus, such work often involves the testing of hypotheses containing very abstract and specialized concepts. Pure research is also concerned with the development, examinations, verification, and refinement of research methods, procedures, techniques, and tools that form the body of research methodology. We can cite a few examples of pure research. That might include developing a sampling technique that can be applied to particular situations, developing a methodology to assess the validity of a procedure, developing an instrument, say for example, to measure the stress level in people and finding the best way of measuring people's attitudes. The knowledge produced through pure research is sought in order to add to the existing body of knowledge of research methods. Most of the research in the social sciences is applied. In other words, we can say the research techniques, procedures, and methods that form the body of research methodology are applied to the collection of information about various aspects of situations, issues, problems, or phenomena, so that the information gathered can be used in other ways, such as for policy formulation, administrations, and the enhancement of understanding of a phenomenon. That's what we have a applications perspective. Looking on to the next part of the research which we have over here, that's objective perspective. So under the objective perspective we have four sub-points over here. So under the objective types of research, it can be basically divided into two basic form, which we have that's called as a descriptive research. Another one which we have over here, it's exploratory research. Okay, so if you examine a research study from the perspective of its objective, broadly, a research endeavor can be classified as descriptive, correlational, explanatory, or exploratory. A research study classified as a descriptive study attempts to describe systematically a situation, problem, phenomenon, service, or program, or provide information about, say, the living condition of a community, or describe attitude towards an issue. For example, it may attempt to describe the type of service provided by an organization, the administrative structure of an organization, the living conditions of aboriginal people in the outback, the needs of a community, what it means to go through a divorce, how a child feels living in a house with domestic violence, or the attitudes of employees towards management. The main purpose of such study is to describe what is prevalent with respect to the issues or problems under study. The main emphasis in a correlation study is to discover or establish the existence of a relationship, association, interdependence between two or more aspects of a situation. What is the impact of an advertising campaign on the sale of a product? What is the relationship between stressful living and the incidence of a heart attack? What is the relationship between fertility and mortality? What is the relationship between technology and unemployment? What is the effect of a health service on the control of a disease or the home environment on educational achievement? These studies examines whether there is a relationship between two or more aspects of a situation or phenomenon, and therefore they are called as in correlation studies. On the other hand, we have an explanatory research. Now what's exactly the explanatory research? So explanatory research is basically it attempts to clarify why and how there is a relationship between two aspects of a situation or phenomenon. This type of research, it attempts to explain, for example, why stressful living results in heart attacks, why decline in a mortality is followed by a fertility decline, or how the home environment affects children level of academic achievement. The fourth type of research, from the viewpoint of the objective of a study, is called exploratory research. This is when a study is undertaken with the objective either to explore an area where little is known or to investigate the possibilities of undertaking a particular research study. When a study is carried out to determine its feasibility, it is also called as a feasibility study or a pilot study. It is usually carried out when a researcher wants to explore areas about which he or she has a little or no knowledge. A small scale study is undertaken to decide if it's worth carrying out a detailed investigation. On the basis of this assessment made during the exploratory study, a full study may involve. Exploratory studies are also conducted to develop, refine, and test measurement tools and procedures. The third perspective in our typology of research concern, the process you adopt to find answers to your research question. Broadly, there are two approaches of inquiry. The structured approach and another one is an unstructured approach. So in the structured approach, everything that forms the research process, objectives, design, sample, and the questions that you plan to ask of respondent is predetermined. The unstructured approach, by contrast, allows flexibility in all these aspects of this process. The structured approach is more appropriate to determine the extent of a problem, issue or phenomenon, whereas the unstructured approach is predominantly used to explore its nature. In other words, we can say variations or diversity in a phenomenon, issue, problems or attitudes towards an issue. For example, if you want to do research, the different perspective of an issue, the problem experienced by people living in a community, or the different views people hold towards an issue, then these are better explored using unstructured inquiries. On the other hand, to find out how many people have a particular perspective, how many people have a particular problem, or how many people hold a particular view, you need to have a structured approach to inquiry. Before undertaking a structured inquiry, an unstructured inquiry must be undertaken to ascertain the diversity in a phenomenon, which can then be quantified through the structured inquiry. Both approaches have their place in research. Both have their own strengths and weaknesses. Therefore, one should not lock himself solely into a structured or unstructured approach. The structured approach to inquiry is usually classified as a quantitative research and unstructured as qualitative research. A study is classified as qualitative if the purpose of the study is primarily to describe a situation, phenomenon, problems or event. If the information is gathered through the use of variables measured on nominal or ordinal scales, which we call it as a qualitative measurement scales, and if the analysis is done to establish the variation in the situation, phenomenon or problem without quantifying it, the description of an observed situation, the historical enumeration of events, an account of the different opinion people have about an issue, and a description of the living condition of a community, there are good examples of a qualitative research. On the other hand, the study is also classified as a quantitative. If you want to quantify the variation in a phenomenon, situations, problems or issues, if information is gathered using predominantly quantitative variables, and if the analysis is geared to ascertain the magnitude of the variations, examples of a quantitative aspect of a research study are like how many people have a particular problems, how many people hold a particular attitude. So these are good examples of a quantitative aspects of a research. Okay. The use of statistics is not an integral part of a quantitative study. Okay. The main function of a statistics is to act as a test to confirm or contradict the conclusions that you have drawn on the basis of your understanding of analyzed data. Statistics, among other things, helps you to quantify the magnitude of an association or relationship. It provides an indication of the confidence you can place in your findings and help you to isolate the effect of different variables. As both qualitative and quantitative approach, they have their own strengths and weaknesses, and advantages and disadvantages. Neither one is markedly superior to the other in all respects. The measurement and analysis of the variables about which information is obtained in a research study that are dependent upon the purpose of the study. In many studies, we need to combine both qualitative as well as quantitative approach. For example, suppose you want to find out the types of services available to victims of domestic violence in a city and the extent of their utilization. Type of services is the qualitative aspects of the study, as finding out about them entails description of the services. The extent of utilization of the services, on the other hand, is a quantitative aspect, as it involves estimating the number of people who use the service and calculating other indicators that reflects the extent of utilizations. Thank you.